Hello friends, I'm Dr. Musheer Ahmad once again, and as you all know, I am taking lecture series on business communication, and today I am here with the second part on feedback. In the last lecture we have completed the functions, characteristics and purposes of feedback. In this lecture we will be doing the types and importance of feedback. Now, coming down to the types of feedback, there may be four types of feedback. The first type of feedback, as you can see on the slide, is self-feedback. Now, what is self-feedback? Self-feedback applies to the words and actions that are transmitted into one's central nervous system as he proceeds his own muscular movement and hears himself speak, suddenly realizing that the speech is loud in a library, or feeling twist, a tongue or mispronunciation are few examples of self-feedback. Now, the second type of feedback is listener's feedback. Listener's feedback may be verbal or it may be non-verbal. The verbal feedback involves verbal responses and may take the forms of questions, comments. Non-verbal feedback, on the other hand, may be transmitted by applause or laughter, indicating approval, or a blank stare, indicating confusion or disinterest. Now, coming down to the third type of feedback, it is positive feedback. A feedback is said to be positive when it is given promptly and with interest in the subject matter. In other words, positive feedback refers to a response which is correctly perceived with the acceptance of reality. Under such type of feedback, the sender agrees to the subject matter of the original message. Now, coming down to the last and the fourth type of feedback, it is negative feedback. A feedback is said to be negative when it shows some resistance and unwillingness in acceptance the original message. Under such type of feedback, the sender does not agree to the subject matter of the original message, and negative feedback is generally not acceptable to the managers. Now, let's come down to the importance of feedback. As you can see on the slide, the importance of feedback may be summarized under the following points. The first, confirmation of transmission. The main purpose of communication is to transmit some information from one person to another. If the person to whom the communication was sent sends his feedback, the sender can become sure about the transmission of the message. The second point of importance, seeking solutions to the problems. Feedback helps the managers to obtain suggestions and viewpoints of their peers, superiors, and subordinates on various problems. The problems hence get solved easily. Now, coming to the in identification of change required, feedback often helps the managers to locate sensitive areas of work where changes are required. The managers thus are more conversant with the organizational needs and can work accordingly. Now, coming down to the next point, better understanding. Feedback ensures purpose of understanding on important issues among the individuals and groups in the organizations. This would lead to an atmosphere of natural trust, confidence, and cooperation in the organization. Now, coming down to the fifth point, better planning. Feedback always helps the manager in knowing what the subordinates are doing. It highlights their work, achievements, progress, and future job plans. This implies better planning for the future on their part, which is very much necessary because without planning, nothing is possible. Now, coming down to the sixth, overall coordination. Communication aims at providing coordination in the functioning of an organization. Once the expected feedback is received on some communication, it implies all around coordination within the organization and thus results in smooth and efficient operations. Now, the seventh point of importance, psychological satisfaction. When the employees are given a chance to give their feedback on the communication, they feel and express their reactions. This results in providing satisfaction to the employees and fulfills their psychological needs. Now, eighth, higher productivity. When the employees are encouraged to give their feedback and talk with their peers and superiors, they get a chance to release emotional tension. This results in their better concentration of work, implying better productivity. Now, the ninth point of importance, development of employees. Communication aims at providing information to the employees on organizational policies and procedures. The role of feedback would make the employee to give their reactions on the policies and procedures and also seek clarifications from the management. This would develop their faculties. Now, this is all about the types and importance of feedback. In the next lecture, we will be discussing about developing the feedback skills and requirements of effective feedback. Till then, thank you very much.